Guys, what's up? It's Medic. I'm here in the shop today with my Traxxas slash 4x4, and I wanted to change it up a little bit. Now, I do have a 3S LiPo that's in here, 5,000, just ready to go. 50C discharge on that. Nice. Quite a bit of power on the go. But I haven't been using this one. This is the Fox Body Edition that I unboxed. I have it in a playlist somewhere for unboxing videos. If you didn't see it and you want to get to know more about the Fox Body Edition, but I haven't used it simply because the body itself is fantastic. And secondly, it's white, and being in the wintertime right now, no bueno. No good. Can't use it because you just can't see it while you're filming on snow, you know? Hey, forgive me. Paint. I've been painting today. Anyway, so with the tires, these tires are fantastic. Look at this. Fox Body Edition came with these rims. They look like they're aluminum, and they are gorgeous to look at. They are not aluminum, they're plastic, but I'm not changing them out because of that reason. I'm actually changing them out because of the tread. Now, look at the width of this tire. With the type of weather I have outside right now, being snow and ice, having a nice slim tire, yes, is fantastic because at high wheel speed with the 3S 50C discharge on my battery, 3S LiPo that is, I do get high rip and speed. But at the same time, I would actually like a wider footprint. Why? Well, then I just have bigger bite in the snow and ice. So I'm going to switch out the tires today, and I'm going to put a different body on here that I'll definitely be able to see, and you guys may recognize it from one of my summit videos. We'll see. There's many people here that have seen all RC adventures, so give it a thumbs up if you do recognize the body. Anyway, let's start off with the tires. So I ordered up from Proline these masher tires. They cost me about 42 bucks at the time of this filming, US. So Canadian, where I got a bad exchange rate right now, so you can expect to pay close to 62 bucks. But I did get these, and they are a 2.8 Traxxas style of bead. You can see here the masher. Do you guys recognize this from my wife's truck? This is actually on Pinky, and I had them on my MGT 8.0, my only nitro truck I had back in the day before I realized how difficult nitro was in the cold climate that I live in. So, not that I don't mind difficult stuff, but when I'm going out to film, tuning and finicking with an engine can be just very tedious, especially when you want to get those great shots. So here we go. With this masher tire, it's going to give me quite a wide stance. This deep inset right here is definitely going to clear the inside. Thanks and shout out to my buddy David Jr., one of my RC mechanics that gives me a hand, that gave me the idea of actually putting these on the slash. Now, they are pre-glued. I do have plastic Desperado tire or rims on the inside. 12 mil hex, I believe. I don't think it's 14, but I can't confirm that right now because I don't see it on here. 2.8 all-terrain tires mounted on Desperado black rear wheels for the Electric Stampede, Rustler, or whatever, because we're going to put them on the slash. I want to see, we're going to get plenty of clearance, and I want to see what kind of stance it has. Let's get the tires out. Okay, first thing to do is remove all the lugs from the existing tires. Whoops. I'll just put these tires off to the side because I'll certainly be using them when I've got my dirt track ready to go. And all the snow is melted, of course. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Okay, when I'm laying my tires out and they've been glued or pre-glued, or if I'm using bead locks or whatever, I always try to line up the treads when I'm laying the tires out beside the hubs that they're going to be attached to. They're directional, right? So make sure all the directions are going the same way. Now, granted, sometimes instead of using them this way, which some people would think are the forward way, we will run them the other way because it does seem to give a better clawing action when you're doing small technical, slow crawling, or you know, trying to get through different areas. But when they're this way. The reason the tread is like this is so when it's moving quickly and the tire is throwing, it'll actually allow the dirt to slide out the side. These are almost like self-cleaning treads. Where on the other hand, these ones right here, these certainly aren't really self-cleaning. Yeah, they'll throw the dirt out because of the force it's being when it's spinning around quickly. But really, when you get mud in here, it just kind of turns out to be a very slick tire surface, right? Because it just fills it up and then you got a nice smooth tire. That's why I went with a wider bite, right? Because I want to make sure that we're plowing through this snow and getting through everything we need to. Now, look at that. It's a huge inset rim. Yes, this tire is going to fit on the inside. The reason why it's inset like this is so we can clear this whole steering spindle and the C-hub, right? Check this out. Make sure to line it up on the back. Make sure the hex adapter is sunk in place, right? I'll use this other one to show you. Here is the hole. It's inset or inlaid like that. You want to make sure that those sides are actually lined up properly and not twisted a little bit. Make sure they fit like a socket. So there that is. I can feel that it's in place. I'm going to go ahead and just put on this wheel nut, tighten it up. Now, some people might be wondering with these wide tires, well, how's your steering going to be? And of course, when you're experimenting and doing different things like this, you're always going to expect some sort of loss of performance and maybe a gain, right? My whole point here is to get more traction with a wider footprint. Now, check this out. I'm going to turn it to the side. This isn't rubbing at all. So this whole area is going to have quite a large steering surface, right? So I'm feeling pretty confident about this. Let's go ahead and switch out the other tires. Okay, back one, making sure that my tread direction is proper. Moving that out of the way and getting it mounted. Turning it, definitely in the right spot, making sure that it's not going to strip out that hex. Because that hex is really what drives that whole tire, right? You want to make sure that it's not damaged, or else when you go to move, if you don't have it mounted up properly, that whole system from the motor is going to torque, and you're actually going to round out that back plastic hex, and you don't want that. And you got to replace the whole tire again. Turn this in nice and tight. And there we are. I cheated a little bit. All 4 tires are attached. I figured I'd just get it done off camera. Now check it out. What a beefy stance it has now, right? Notice all the treads are actually facing the same direction. Sometimes folks actually forget to do that. And, that's why I even mention it here. Now, in some videos, I'll actually leave this in the forward position and I'll turn these ones in the reverse position. And the reason why that is because it depends. Are you in the mud? If I'm in a mud situation, I'll do that because backwards or forwards are going to need traction. It's nice to have clawing action on either side of the vehicle. Now, some of you will be looking at this and going, oh my God, Medic, it's going to be so heavy. This is a heavy rig now. And really, my friends, it's not. This is quite a pliable, soft rubber with a lot of foam in there. And these tires here that come with it are actually quite firm and stiff. There is foam in there, but it's not really a pliable rubber, right? So I look at 4 of these. And the weight of these, I wish I had a digital scale here. I don't. I just don't need one. But here we go. With 1, 2, 3, 4 of those and 4 of these, when I'm telling you that they weigh about the same, just take my advice and go with that because they're about the same. It's really a marginal amount of difference I can tell from holding them. So these here, look at this. Here's something else that you're going to enjoy looking at. If I laid this straight on and put 1 of these tires beside, you'll see that it's actually 2 of these tires to make 1 footprint of this masher. So this is going to give me quite a bit of bite in the snow. I'm looking forward to using it, and having twice as much width, of course, is going to help me when I'm turning, right? Like when I'm turning, I'm going to get the body roll, but not so bad because these footprints are quite wide. Some of you will ask me about suspension. How's the suspension going to work? Because now the ratios are off. We're going to be out there. It seems like it'll be heavier, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to change anything right now. I'm going to take it out and test it. And the reason why is because it's winter for me where I am right now. And if you check out the rear suspension, really, really soft, right? So normally this would be quite forgiving outside. And if I change this to a thicker oil right now, so it had more of a rebound rate, or, you know, it just kind of was a little more springy, when I go outside into the cold, that oil is going to thicken up no matter what. So I'm going to leave it as is just so I can experiment. The front of this, quite springy. I'm happy with this. I want a nice spring in the front when I'm going off of a jump. And of course in the back, I just want it to accept it as it goes over the lip of the jump, so it doesn't give me a kick over, right? You go up the jump and bam, you got too much of a spring in the rear and it kicks you over, and that's no fun. So there we go. This is what I have set up for this Traxxas Slash for now. I'm going to give this a run in the coming days. Here is the body that I've chosen to go with it. Completely the opposite of the Fox body, because the Fox body is white and black. This is going to be black and clear, but mostly black. Some of you may recognize this body as one I used in my Traxxas Summit videos years ago. This has been in my body bin for quite some time, and I can't remember if this is a Proline Flow Tech or if this is a J Concepts High Flow. I think that's what it is a J Concepts. And the whole concept behind this was that you could cut out these areas right here to help the flow of air go through this body easier. Now, let me explain that. For those that don't know, the Traxxas Slash is notorious for having something we all call the parachute effect. Because when you jump it, this whole area, it just acts like an air catch and kind of catches all the air and can kind of screw you up sometimes if you're going for high air. Like in the old days when we were doing skate park pains, which was an awesome series. Medic, why don't you do that anymore? Well, things change as we go on and we learn rules. That's why we have the racetrack here, but I am digressing. With this one, I still want the air to move through, so I don't want so much snow going in, but the air to move, so I did drill some holes. I do have old holes lined up for the old Traxxas Summit, and this was already trimmed out by me for the Summit tires because they were huge. Perfect. So it kind of looks like the Batmobile, hey? This is the way that it's formed. Now, it is trimmed pretty heavily, I'll say that much. But you know what? For what it is and for what I need it for, pretty awesome. I wish the lighting was better. I'll have to get a light on the other side, but check out that stance. Just boss for like an off-road short course truck. Lots of clearance in the back. Right, I'm not going to be getting any wheel bite up here, more than likely. Well, maybe I will, but it's been trimmed out enough that when it hits, it should line up with these siping marks in the tread anyway. So here, I'll give you kind of a once around the vehicle, nice down low so you can see, and you know, hopefully it inspires you guys to get out there, try new things. Experimenting is fun. It doesn't always work in RC, but you know what? If you don't try, you'll never know. Let's have a good look at this. Here you are with the lid off. Nice. Let's have a look at the turning radius when I turn the tires to see if it's going to be an issue. And without the light being bothered, it does not rub. That is clearing. You're going to have to take my word for it because it's a shadow, but it does clear. Same on this side, clearance, no problem. And no problem on the steering rod, that's good news. See, these tires actually come in a little bit like that, right? You can see that, but that's not a big deal. I can adjust that with the steering rods themselves. And some people like them to be facing out a little bit. I don't mind if they're facing in. It means that they're always clawing towards, right? When they're facing out, they're always clawing outwards, which is great for steering. So really, again, it's just up to the driver. What do you want? What's your style? Give it a try, see what you like. Put the bod back on here. Boom, 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 boom. Now let me line this up. There. There's the trimmed effect. I think it looks pretty darn good. I'm looking forward to getting this out on the track and sending it over some snowy jumps. Hopefully I can find a few for you. If not, I will use the Bobcat and build some for you. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope this has inspired you to get outside and have some fun with RC. It is a hobby that can keep on giving. And guys, if you're supporting and subscribing, thank you so much. And we will see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Bye, get outside, have fun with RC.